We're back. Game number 2 of our leadoff best of 3 of the night. HGT taking on Invictus Gaming. And, well, let's call it what it is. IG steamrolled game 1 on the back of a very small but very costly mistake from HGT, allowing their Viper to be clipped by a telekinesis of Schwann's Rubik, and really they never recovered. Now, though, looking ahead to Game 2, HGT wants to turn this best of 3 into a best of 1 and not the series, and to do so, they're going to lead off with an Ancient Apparition and a Brewmaster. The counter picks from Invictus, that's Naga Siren. We saw Schwann actually playing an excellent transition Naga Siren, beginning on support and then transitioning to a hard carry in the late game last time IG appeared at the D2L, and they're going to pair it with a Viper of their own this time. To break down the draft and give his insight and analysis all throughout this season, welcome back once again, Tralf. And yeah, I don't know that there's a whole lot more to say about Game 1. Let's talk about adjusting and just trying to shake that off if you're HGT. How tough is it as a professional player to just kind of shake it up and be like, yeah, that happens?
I don't think a loss like that's that hard to shake off because there's not too much argument there. Like, it's not like, well, you didn't do this or you didn't do that. It was like, dude, you just got lifted and we lost the game because of that. Or, dude, they level 1 Roshan. What more can we do? So I don't think a loss like that's too difficult to shake off. I'm sure they'll be fine coming into Game 2. And they pick up quickly the Ancient Apparition and the Brew. So yeah, AA yet again is getting picked up very quickly here in these drafts in the Eastern scene. And actually, the Necrophos gets banned out in the second phase by IG. And I don't know if that's just a popular hero among the Eastern scene or just they know that these two teams like it. But I don't see Necrophos banned out very often.
Well, it's one of those fun things. Just we're in that transitionary period where there's still tweaks going in, by the way. I mean, I'm sure everyone saw the patch. The mini patch went out today. Like some substantial tweaks there, especially to some of those remaining very popular heroes. Death Prophet, Razor. Absolutely. Terrorblade in particular got hit.
Spectre.
Yeah, and look who's not banned. Terrorblade.
Yeah, I haven't had a chance to actually get into a practice game and see how much of a difference it made. But someone did tell me that the intake of the damage that the illusions had was actually lower than it said on the tooltip. Like it was, I don't know, say if it was 50 or whatever number it was actually less than what it was supposed to be. And then on top of that, so they fixed that, and then on top of that, they made it even more so. So like I said, I haven't tried it in a game, but I imagine that's a pretty big nerf. Like that would make it seem that those illusions just die much easier. So yeah, good point.
Anyway, IG rolls on with their draft, adding on the Jakiro. Jakiro was and remains one of my favorite heroes of recent times. I mean, he's a blast to play, and Omni Knights. Actually,
that's one of my favorite heroes.
Oh yeah, you're a greedy carry player. We talked about that the few times I've inflicted myself on you and made you queue with me. You are the greediest carry, but you are very, very good at it. And
well, thank you.
I'm a bottom of the trench support, so I play a lot of Omni, play a lot of Jakiro, but I just feel like Jakiro in particular, there's so much you can do with him. You can put him with a Viper in an aggressive tri-lane if you see any greed whatsoever out of the other team. He can actually be run as a core, as we've seen done fairly often in recent memory, but he just punishes you so badly. If you give up a death under your own tower, if there's a mistake, if someone, anything goes wrong, he can take your tower from 100 to 50% or from 50 to 0% if it's been worn out at all. And he does scale pretty damn well into the late game because of the power of the Ice Path and the Macro Pyre in particular when put with a Yule Scepter.
Yep, I'm waiting for Omni to get picked up more and more and more. I'm finally starting to see him. EG likes him a lot, for example. There's a couple other teams I've seen pick him up. Shout out to Light Knight 69, the premier Omni Knight player of North America and Dota. But I feel like this hero just is waiting to just get so popular. He's got everything, man. Like it's just the perfect skill set, especially in this meta game right now where team fighting is so popular and just getting greedy. I don't even know if he's going to be played as support, but just even if he is, greedy support heroes that don't necessarily lane the best, but once outside of the laning phase are very effective. That's why I think those kind of supports are so popular. That's why it's interesting to me to see similar to these quote unquote as used thin supports like Ancient Apparition and Rubik, although they are working very well for the Eastern teams. But boy, am I happy to see an Omni Knight pick up.
Omni he just seems to fit. I mean, you don't see nearly tri lanes as you used to. I mean, you see dual lanes a lot more often than you see that flat, straight up. And Omni works really well in those situations. If you try to pressure, he's actually a very defensive support. He synergizes unbelievably well with so many mids and so many carries because of the power of just being able to give a free BKB and an extended duration one. So that's an entire item. You can have those heroes skip if he's on that side. And his ulti never gets bad, ever, ever. His ulti is good the entire length of the game. HGT on the other side, they're going to have a couple of strong ultis as well. Obviously, Ancient Apparition. That's fine. Mirana with her ulti going to be able to set them up to get the picks they're going to need to hold that Naga Siren down. And Brewmaster, of course. And when you look at the Brew and what he's up against on the side of IG, they don't have a whole lot. I mean, you can hope to chain like an ensnare into an ice path and so on, but in terms of just being able to shut down his ult and bring him down before he can ult in these fights, they're lacking a bit right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And like I said, I'm still interested in seeing. It's probably going to be a support Naga Siren here for Chuan, as we saw before. Chuan played it excellently, and if they did need to get to the late game, they had a tool through him, and he did carry them, which was a crazy game. If you haven't seen it, you need to go check that one out
for sure. But
yeah, one more final pick here. If it is going to, I feel like Luo is going to be playing the Jakiro. I see him play it every single time they draft it. So. And usually it's some kind of, either he's offlane solo or it's a dual lane with it. So expect to see more dual lanes from IG coming up here.
Still waiting on that last pickup, and it will be a Tinker. Let's talk about Tinker a little bit, my friend. Got hit with the Nerf hammer just a bit, and haven't seen him played quite as much. How do you feel about the hero and the state of things right now?
Well, I believe the only the thing they did was make the Ancients.
Right.
Well, it's the Ancients, and then now it's only physical damage, right? It used to be composite on the March, but the Ancients was massive. It was absolutely massive. But the thing is I feel like that was a very appropriate and much-needed nerf. And I still think he can farm, like, his capabilities once he gets the bots are still the same. Like, it's just getting there is a little bit more. You don't have a shortcut to get there now. Now you have to do it a little bit differently. But you can still stack your jungle like your regular neutrals. You don't have to go to the Ancients to get that fast farm. And so I think Tinker, once he gets those bots, is just as annoying as he was before. It's just, yeah, like I said, now you don't have that shortcut of the Ancients.
Troll Warlord going to be the final pickup. Love games with Troll, but I don't know. Like, whenever I see this now, IG really does have a phenomenal late game if it goes to that point, having Chuan, even as a support Naga Siren. We saw him transition very well in that game before. Ferrari, of course, on the Tinker. His Tinker is outstanding, and they're going to have to worry about that at all phases of the game. And then you put that up against a Brewmaster who kind of naturally begins to fall off as the game goes later. Mirana is going to be played by ZSMJ. And we'll see how much farm priority he's going to get. But Troll, how does Troll, do you think, scale, in particular against this team with an Omni Knight? How does he match up against any kind of, say, post-40-minute play style coming from IG?
Yeah, I don't like Troll.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not, like, I've already said before, it's not one of my favorite heroes. The only time I like him, and I think that he needs to be picked up, is when you have heroes that synergize well with the ult. But I don't really see that here. Not anything too impressive as far as, Troll ult, or Troll go ult, I'm going to jump in with Void and then Chrono. Like, that's a nice combo. That works well. That's probably one of the better ones as of late. But, I don't see anything with HGT. So it's kind of all up to him as far as what he can output with that ulti and his Bash chance. But like you mentioned, I think there's a lot of answers to it. Even if he does buy BKB, you have the ult from Omni Knight. You have it in Snare that will go through BKB. So, and I'm pretty sure the DJ Aura still goes through BKB as well, which not only lowers his movement speed, but his attack speed greatly too. So, yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of the Troll pick, but we'll have to wait and see. It does take Roshan down quickly.
Well, we'll have to wait and see, at least temporarily, because we are in the midst of a pause. Thanks again for everyone for tuning in. And just an update, Outsider Mike was watching, and he's entertained. Obviously, a little bit out of his depth so far as not knowing much about Dota, having never even heard of the game until tonight, but I still think it's awesome. I love to see sports and esports crossover, even if it is just on an individual basis, especially. And I've mentioned this a couple of times to him and some other guys, is, ESPN did broadcast our last big championship. You and I were both there, Trouf, and yeah, I think I think there's more demographic overlap there than people want to give credit. Anyway, we are back underway. IG HGT game number 2 with IG leading this best of 3 1-0. How do you think the lanes are going to shake out?
Well, like I said, it's actually June playing the THD, so I thought it was going to be Luo, because I've seen him play it most of the time when IG drafts it. But lanes, I was expecting dual lanes from IG. It looks like that's what they might do. And then from HGT, probably an aggressive tri-lane. I mean, they definitely have the capabilities to do that with Apotem and the support heroes being Rubik and AA. So, yeah, I'm expecting an aggressive tri-lane with Troll as a solo and Panda as a solo.
That'll be nice at the very least, if they can keep him alive. The dual lane up here of the Naga and the Jakiro actually does have the ability to just wear him out and run him out of lane fairly easily. We can see 5 are moving down through the Radiant jungle. They drop a ward just on the both sides, actually. A sentry there to block and a vision ward over just on the other side of that pool camp. Let's see if they get eyes on anyone. Chizbug's there, as is she. Is it? I'm always worried that I'm mispronouncing that. Is it she or she?
She, probably, yeah. I just say Luo because that's much easier.
Yeah. But at any rate, looks like they are going to make it back across the river unscathed. How about we take a look at who's handling who as the horn blows? It's going to be she, if that's correct, on our Viper down at bottom. It's going to be June playing on the THD. That Jakiro Ferrari 430 playing the Tinker here in mid. Omni Knight going to be played by Chizbug. And it's going to be Naga Siren played by Chuan. But already our stand-in, don't know his name, call him Dos Equis, being pursued out by June and Chuan. And Chase back behind the tier 1 in mid. Hasteroon on. He's going to be careful. He's going to come back out. He's got some help coming. That's Kaka. He's going to need a dual breath. And that, yeah, he's wasting a lot of time here. And he's, just spent a lot of regen at that. He's actually hanging out here in mid for the time being.
Yeah, that was kind of annoying for Ferrari 430. He kind of caught the creep wave there, June did. So Ferrari 430 is trying to get it to wrap back around so where it will fight his own creeps. But awkward landing phase. But yeah, he took a lot of damage in the meantime, as you mentioned.
Lift on Chizbug. The arrow is going to be on the mark to connect. And our first blood, yep, he took repel level 1, no heal.
Huh.
And Zetus and J notches first blood on the back of a nice rotation from this ancient apparition. And a good lift from Pretty Ha as well. So HGT comes out firing early.
That's very interesting. Maybe he wanted the repel for, like, if they lifted the Viper, he could repel him so he doesn't get hit into an arrow. But I think heal is better almost all the time. But yeah, got caught out, so nice kill there. But as I was saying, the troll took so much damage there and had to take the very long road back to top. But he finally arrived here, but the creep wave was...
Dive. Gee, once again, caught under his own tower. They don't have the damage to follow it up. This time, there's actually a lot of damage being eaten by the ancient apparition, and the Omni was nowhere near him. Still sitting at just level 1, so still just relying on repel. So this bottom lane, already a war zone, and this Viper is going to struggle. Not a single CS to his name or to the name of the Omni Knight. In mid, we can see the Brewmasters at 4-4 with the Tinker, and this dual lane of Chuan and June going up against the stand-in Dos Equis. He is sitting at 0 CS as well.
Yep. And he tried to pull the creep camp upwards because he just has no creep equilibrium at all. So he is in a world of hurt. I would say it's way worse for him than...
Speaking of world of hurt, Ferrari in trouble in mid. Chuan actually there in time. And while Kaka's out there, there's going to be a lift on the Chuan. Let's see how they want to follow this up. Chuan's most likely going to be a death. The question is, can they get the Brew? There's the ensnare to follow. Uses the mirror image and gets him with the laser. Chuan makes it into the woods. Now he's on the run. 430 gets another kill. Chasing now Pretty Ha up to the high ground. He's going to get him. It's going to take one more auto attack. Can you say a triple kill? Ferrari 430, 2.5 minutes in, gets a gigantic, huge lead in mid. And once again, he is going to be a beast.
What a player Chuan is. He went the 1-1-1 build too, and normally you don't see this at all from support Naga Sirens. You usually max the Riptide. But that totally saved him. It kind of disjointed their attacks a little bit. One more auto attack finally found the correct Naga, and he gets out unscathed with a triple kill for the Tinker. So very well played by both, but especially by Chuan.
Game is hard if you're HGT, because that was really that was pretty well executed. But again, the mere presence of mind for Chuan to be there to begin with is what really broke that open. And he had rotated down and was in the right place at the right time and made a play to help his boy out. 3-1. HGT drew first blood, but now they're hurting. Pretty Ha And the Ancient Apparition moving back down. They might be able to get She. Jizzbug is there. Hits him with the repel. Arrow, ooh, actually does catch Jizzbug. Do they want to engage? You got to be careful. They're going to end up going 1-for-1 at best. That SMJ is actually really low. He does have Leap, though, and is able to get to safety. And She just continuing to peck away at that poor Rubik. So the lanes for HGT beginning to fall apart a bit. In the meantime, they may get a kill onto the Troll. And this is what I was talking about. The kill potential on these two, their ability to just wear him out, not so much burst him down, but slow him down, lock him down, and burn him down. There you go. 4-1, and the wheels are off the wagon once again.
At the very least, he did get some CS before he died, so he's up to 8-1. It's not terrible. And the Panda's doing very, very well in mid, despite that terrible exchange. But I really love this dual lane bottom. Like, I feel like they can't kill Viper. They had that one lucky kill onto the Omni Knight early on, but this Viper is just basically having a fun time down here now. Like, yeah, the bottom has 13 CS, but I imagine it'll actually get worse. Like, because they can't just sit down here. They need to take this tower if you go aggro tri-lane, but it's kind of falling apart. As you see, already the Ancient Apparition has transitioned to top. So this dual lane down bottom is going to be huge, hugely successful for IG.
Coming up on 5 minutes in now. CS-wise, HGT does have the top 2 CSers on the board, 22 for this Brewmaster, as Kaka has done a phenomenal job after a very poor game 1 on the Invoker, playing the Brew much better, 24 to the 13 of Ferrari, so even though Ferrari did get that triple kill, he is falling behind a little bit in overall gold and lane efficiency. The Jakiro, as you said, eating the CS up at top, and he is going to get some help, the Troll will, I should say, from the Ancient Apparition who's made his way up. Do you think this is going to be enough to stabilize if you're HGT, or do you need to look to make a play to get you back into a better position a little more quickly?
I think they're doing what they have to. Like, they realize with Omni sitting behind the Viper, if he keeps his correct positioning.
Kaka, trouble in mid. Down to about half health. Xuan gave him the old end around and snares uphill. That's just outside of the March of the Machines, though. Ferrari has looped around. Will force him back upriver a little bit. There's a laser from downtown. Xuan will have another ensnare. Actually, it's going to be a while. He doesn't have enough mana quite yet, and he may get away after that clap, and he will. In the meantime, though, HGT does manage to bring down the Jakiro up in top lane. So, IG fails on their gank. HGT succeeds on theirs. Not a bad little 30-second exchange.
Yeah, and despite him being 3-0, Ferrari actually has very little CS. He's gone for an interesting build, too, with 3 in the laser. Normally you see at least 1 point in the heat-seeking missile, just to kind of fend people off or get that extra bit of damage.
June in trouble again at top. Gets off the ice path, manages to catch 1, and Pretty Haw right there with him. Nope, not going to be able to catch him. Not enough damage. Go ahead. Yeah,
but his CS is falling behind, and I'm wondering if they're stacking for him in the jungle. They actually don't have any stacks for him whatsoever.
ZSMJ almost died at bottom. The purification was a little late from the Omni. Don't know there would have been enough damage to kill him, but did force out another leap as well. So action really everywhere. Xuan gets eyes on the Ancient Apparition, not going to pursue him, though. Kaka is level 6.5 now, is about 1/3 of his way to his Blink Dagger. Do you think he's just going to wait on the Blink, or is he going to look to make something happen with that ulti sooner rather than later? He's going to have a chance on 430 right now if he wants to, and he will. Going to go ahead and use it. 430 under his own tower. No help's coming, at least right now. Trying to lose him in the trees. He will be tossed up by the Storm aspect. Xuan's going to be there, though. Ferrari down to about 1/4 health. He's got to back off. The time on those Pandas is running out, and Xuan's right on top of him. There's the ensnare. Didn't bring him down quickly enough. Was a little too cute. Let's see if they can chase him down and get a return kill. Laser does the job. Those 4 points in Laser paying dividends there with the damage. 5-2.
That was a very weird attempt with the Brewmaster ulti. As an arrow comes in, Chuan does get hit. Nice arrow by ZSMJ. Does connect with Tuan and will get a counter kill at the very least, and almost level 7 with that, so nice.
June at top also will drop, as they're doing a good job of getting picks as a team now. In mid, though, I mean, Kaka has just struggled. He's done so well in terms of just laning mechanics, but so far as making things happen other ways, he just has not done well for 2 games in a row now.
No, it was a very weird decision. He went on to the... Like, he took so much damage before he ulted that he was forced to get the kill. But Ferrari 430 was like full HP when he went in. And that is not how you want to use your first Panda ulti. You want to usually just save for your blink. Just to use the ulti when you have that blink for a guaranteed kill.
June in trouble again. Gets off the ice path. Well shot. Caught 2. Xuan there trying to help him out. No follow-up damage. One last auto attack and a wishful thinking arrow. Splits the wickets. So the Jakiro will be able to make it away. He's going to head all the way back to the fountain. Let's see how much pressure HGT wants to apply to this top tier 1.
I know that June's died twice, but this is really good for them. The fact that they're wasting a lot of the support's time trying to get those kills and they're not getting them. They're only level 3 on the AA, level 4 on the Rubik, whereas Omni, he's level 5. Naga, who's rotated a ton, is actually almost level 6. We'll get level 6 and have Song here after these couple of creeps. So the supports here from IG are just in a very, very good spot.
Yeah, I agree. I think Chuan has just had a phenomenal early game. 9 minutes in, he has been a part of so much. And it doesn't show. He hasn't gotten the kills. Yeah, actually, yeah, you're right. Every single kill, no matter where it's happened for IG, Chuan has been a major part of it. There was that big play in mid, helping Ferrari get himself a triple kill, which is why he's in such a good position now. And yeah, I feel like HGT is going to be under the gun. About a little under halfway to the blink dagger for Kaka. When the blink is there, they have to make something happen because this is going to be taking place the entire time. IG now beginning to rotate Chizbug and Chuan as well as June, just looking to break this game open.
The thing is I love Panda, but I also feel like he's not going to have a very good time this game. The supports and just everyone on IG are just so tanky. Not only are they tanky supports, but they have an Omni Knight behind him. So even if they weren't tanky, they can still get saved by the Omni Knight. So it's almost like you have to go in on the Omni Knight, but you can't do that when he has Repel on him. So very, very sticky situation that HGT has. And it just comes back to the draft. Like, who do they fall back on? It's a Troll. Like, I don't think Troll can do enough.
A lot of patience from IG. Let's see. The smoke will wear off. ZSMJ is going to go ahead and run forward. He may be in trouble here as we see Chizbug and Chuan are playing back, waiting on this. He's trying to bait this out. Chizbug might have showed himself. No, they're still playing really far forward. Chuan does have Song if and when he wants to spend it. 3 around this tower. There are 3. Make it 4 now. Rotating towards top from HGT. So what could be a very important fight on both sides. There's going to be a Shadows now. Moonlight Shadow from HGT, and June's in trouble once again. Chuan will be able to bail him out with the Song. And let's see, where is it? Nope, couldn't do it quick enough. He actually got stunned as he fell to the ground. That's why. I'm pretty sure he put his arms up and did the wind up for the Song of the Siren, but the telekinesis, when he came back to the ground, stunned him out of it. So another good kill.
I mean, there's just 4 heroes sitting up here, and they're not pushing the tower. So it's a good kill, but they used Moonlight Shadow for it, which is it's fine. They got a kill, but the supports need to get more farm. The Mirana has, I mean, she actually has 3 kills under her belt. She's 3-0-0, which is great, but she's not getting any like big items. And there's the bots on Tinker, 11 minutes in, so doesn't get to utilize the Ancients anymore, but still has a very timely Boots of Travel.
IG pressuring mid. And it looks like they might finally put a real push on this top tier 1. And yep, in mid, they're going to go ahead and make a run at this tier 1 as well. There's going to be 4. And I don't know that Kaka has a whole lot he can do at the moment. He's just got to back off. And they honestly could probably defend this top tier 1 if they want. They did go ahead and use their glyph. It's going to be close. It's down to about a quarter health. Glyph deployed on the side of HGT. Yeah, they'll probably just go ahead and trade flat out.
And he's totally maxed his laser. Still no point in Rocket. I still find that very curious. But, yep, tower for a tower. And it looks like they're transitioning towards bottom. AA has to be very careful. Here comes Naga with the backstab.
No TP. He's super dead. He's going to do a little bit of damage, but there's the ensnare. Chuan leading the way and going to pursue him into the woods. Ferrari happy to take that kill off of his hands. That's a mega kill streak now for him, and he is going to be... This, you know, Tinker's one of those heroes where you can look and be like, oh, he's got so many kills. Why doesn't he feel out of control? Just give it a minute. Like, just let it bake for a second, because that Tinker will be gigantic soon. Good steal, though, for Pretty Hog. Got Ice Path.
Yep, what level is that? It's level 2. Yeah, it's similar to like a Naga when he gets a Radiance bot. You're like, God, it's huge, but it feels like he's not doing anything. It's like, yeah, just wait a little bit of time, and it's going to blow up very, very soon. It will erupt.
God, look how much damage that SMJ is taking just from auto attacks from G right now. They're going to come back out, trying to make something happen. There's going to be an Ice Path thrown out that caught one. Chizbug is still there, has the repel, and no, he actually got it on the G's. That's going to be nice for them to lead with. Got the purification off to make sure he kept everyone up and fighting. SMJ. Down. Yep, sentries are down. He's going to be able to make it away. Do they have any dust? They do not. Close. Behind that, I hear another Ice Path going off. That's going to be on the Pretty Haws. Ferrari tallies yet another kill. Further north, Kaka has shown his face. It's a 2-for-1 as he brought down Chizbug. Kaka being pushed back now. Does have his split and his blink complete, but unable to confidently re-engage there. Let's see how committed to this Invictus is going to be.
was a bit of an overextension there by IG. I don't think the Omni and Naga needed to pursue any further. They're pursuing past the tower, and there is the blink from Kaka. Yep.
Clap and split. 2 are TPing in. ZSMJ is going to get the arrow off. Oh, wow. He actually tossed it in the air, so the arrow didn't connect. Chuan using Song of the Siren. The Panda's fighting through it. Oh, nice timing on the stone. Ferrari can't get away. What did he manage to steal there? He got Song. He's going to be able to slow them down if he wants. Kaka reassembles and blinks, and there's a Song behind that. They will be able to get Ferrari almost certainly. And there we go, finally. Finishes him off as HGT, now grouped up, catches an ice path. Chuan still going to work, as is she. And ZSMJ now in trouble. There's that Guardian Angel. ZSMJ next to drop as soon as Chuan catches him. Will he get denied? Nope. Drops anyway. As Viper finishes him off with the dot. Here comes the Troll coming in from the north. Behind, we're going to have a flank from Kaka. Kaka ready to go back in. There's going to be an ensnare onto the Troll, who's doing nothing but dying. Chuan could be in trouble. Beautiful ice path. Got them both, and Chuan escapes into the woods for the second time this game with less than 10% health. And just look at G. Just going to work. Does not care. Tanky as hell and can't bring him down. Huge win for IG as HGT fought tooth and nail, but still just more ground gained by Invictus.
Yeah, they're up to throw everything at them to kind of just come out even. But IG's, their sustainability is pretty good right now in these fights, but it's just going to get even worse when you get more levels into Repel. That was a level 3 purification last time, and if you saw how much damage that was, it was onto 2 separate heroes onto the Naga. I believe it was the Naga, but it did a lot of damage. I mean, it's pure damage. One of the biggest nukes in the game. The only drawback of it is that it has kind of a long casting time. And it's like not the greatest range in the world, but if you do hit it, it's 360 pure damage. Right. So it just ate, I believe it was the Potom who hit that, ate her alive.
How do you transition now? From both sides. IG is winning, they're ahead, but it's not as if it's some kind of insurmountable victory, though I think they are on a much better trajectory into the late mid game and then into the late game as a whole. Hold that thought as Chuan and Pretty Hard just giving each other mean stares. There's going to be Ferrari engaging in, immediately proccing the Moonlight Shadow. Prompting, I should say. Didn't proc it, prompted it. And that'll allow Kaka and Pretty Haw to retreat, and they want to continue to push bottom.
Yep, and the Moonlight Shadow will be down for their 130 seconds, but they just have to fight around their cooldowns. If they have to fight around the Panda ulti, they have to fight around the AA ulti when it hits, as he almost cast his ult right there.
Yep.
But thinks quickly of it. There's a nice AA Blast, though. Hits 4 people. And AA Blast is fantastic against Omni. We didn't really talk about that very much.
Good point.
But it's very, very good against the Omni. Although Omni can repel to kind of stop it a little bit, but obviously can't heal.
Right. Tinker coming back in. There, yep, he actually canceled that. And now they're going to decide to go. G caught out in front. Arrow was on the mark. There's going to be a Macropire that goes down and snare onto the Troll. In the meantime, G going to drop. Chuan has to use the song. Oh, nope, he's not going to. He will be brought down from behind. They're continuing to run. Guardian Angel, 140 seconds.
Oh, God, the AA is dying to March of Machines. So close.
Being pursued. Arrow's going to be off the mark, but it's not going to matter. This is a win they needed. It's a 1 for 2 so far. As you said, the AA did drop, and Kaka missed with his clap. He's going to think he TP'd out, maybe? Shizbug's right there with him. He's going to hold on to it. Nope, now he decides to purify. Now Kaka has eyes on him. There's going to be the ensnare under the tower, and not wanting to take chances, he will TP away. Ferrari's still dancing around in the woods.
He is
right
out
over the top
playing
of
like crazy.
Oh, wow. He actually cleaned up Mirana in the midst of that as well. And yeah, that's Ferrari being a cheeky little tinker. 14-11 as HGT is not going quietly, but the noise they're making, well, it's not. It's not. It's like a chihuahua who's trying to roar at you. It's not as scary as they wish it was.
Yeah, that's a good analogy. I like that. That was some fancy footwork there by Ferrari 430. Gotta say, a pretty big misplay by the Omni. He totally missed his Guardian Angel on the Viper.
Mm-hmm.
I believe he was actually the only person that the Guardian Angel hit. Maybe one other hero, but that didn't really matter. But
yeah,
he totally whiffed it.
I didn't even notice it. I didn't even notice that he had used it until I went to look at the cooldown. I was like, 140 seconds means recently. I honestly didn't.
He healed the Viper, then repelled him, and then cast GA, but the GA missed. So the Viper actually ended up dying to auto attacks from the Panda split.
Either way, HGT has a chance to reset now, and looks like we might check that. Ooh, courier pick off. Had 2,300 gold worth of goods on top of it. He may end up giving his body for it, though. He's got 10 seconds until split. There's an arrow on the mark, and Moonlight Shadow. Sentry goes down. This is an awkward fight for them as the high ground advantage is to HGT. IG has to try to pull back. Splits up and right now. And G not going to have the cold feet proc onto him. He did get hit with the Ice Blast, though. Ferrari's there with a haste, has a Dagon up, so burst damage not going to be. Yes, got him with the burst. Didn't know he had the Dagon, went in and gave himself up for it. G probably going to be cold feeted here. Yes, it did proc, but there's no follow-up. In the meantime, Ferrari on the route, forcing them all the way back to their own tier 2. And that Dagon, though, the Brewmaster made what would have been a good play if, he didn't have to contend with close to 1,000 damage of burst that Ferrari suddenly had.
Yeah, that was right in the animation of his ult, too. So that level 4 laser just really paying off right now. And these AA blasts are actually a big nuisance for IG, although Luo does have, actually, hold that thought, as Ferrari is playing fancy footwork yet again. Manages to get the kill onto our porn site here, or Dos Equis. And yeah, nice work. And that's Dagon up to level. He will have level 2 now. But the AA blasts are nice, but there is, like I mentioned, a very early pipe. He just straight ran the pipe for the Viper, and it's one of the best tools against AA.
Oh, for sure. I feel like the Rubik's been playing fairly well, pretty hot. I mean, he's sitting at 0-3 and 8, but that's more a product of just how well the rest of IG is playing. I feel like he's actually had a good game. He's been on top of stealing Song, on top of stealing Viper Strike every time he needed it. Ferrari, though, is just once again going berserk. He's atop our net worth chart now. He's almost at 11,000 overall net worth. And easy to see why. 10-1 his performance. Now we're going to have Kaka go back in. There's a split after the clap. There's going to be the immediate Song, not soon enough to save June, though. Now they have to make up their mind how they want to engage this. Pipe was deployed as well. And that time is running out on that ulti. Chuan is a little tankier than I think they wish he was, as he is able to survive all this. And now they're trying to kite this out in a very odd angle. Viper tossed up by the Storm aspect. Guardian Angel is at the ready. Arrow's actually off from ZSMJ. And now we're going to have the Viper going to work behind that. Back on the other side, Kaka back together, and Ferrari shows up and punishes him. And punishes HGT just for... There just comes a point where that Brewmaster ult starts to wear off. You have to reset not just the Brew, but as a team. You know, if you're trying to fight and suddenly you're split up and you've got a Viper who's repelled and he's chasing down your damage dealers and the Brew's not going to be effective, you just end up kind of carved up like that. And yeah, there's a dead Rubik because of that burst damage. ZSMJ ensnared. They're going to be able to pursue him behind his own tower, though. He has Moonlight Shadow, but not going to waste it as he drops. That's going to be 3 down now for HGT. 19-13, and this game begins to feel as if it's taken a rather unfortunate turn for HGT.
I think they're getting too excited they're picking up this THD, but he's died 7 times.
Exactly.
And I will say that even though he's dying all the time, he's still getting off some good spells. So as more kills onto Dos Equis boy. Well, Ferrari 430 is just making a clinic here with the rest of HGT. And he's just all over the map at this point. June, this could be your 8th death. Could be an ice path is stolen.
Yep, got him.
Jeez.
They both might end up dead because of it, though. Here comes Xuan and the Tinker coming in onto the creep. He actually thought better of it. There's the ensnare. The Rubik brought down, and he didn't think better of it. He landed and immediately blinked. I didn't actually see if he had canceled, connected. Blink was quick, and June doesn't care, man. He's just a punching bag, but he is drawing people out of position.
And it's actually not going to be the rushing Dagon 5. He's going Dagon 1 into Sheep. And I really like this. Because if they go into a fight and they just Sheep the Panda and kill him before he ultis, come mid to late game, we're approaching like that mid to late game sort of stage. Actually, it's only 22 minutes. My God, it feels much later than that. But if he locks down the Panda before he ultis, I don't think HGT has any ways to actually fight. Again, this troll just doesn't do enough, I feel. He keeps dying to this Tinker alone, too.
Top tier 2. Under assault, Ferrari taking all the farm, all the time, everywhere. He is Monsanto. All of it belongs to him. And he is getting... How is it 23 minutes? I know you just said that, but it didn't even impact me until I just looked up and saw it from my own eyes.
Yeah.
23 minutes in, and he is ginormous. This is what we were talking about. It's like, oh, yeah, he's having a great game, but he's not that impactful yet. Let it bake. And pretty sure the buzzer just went ding, ding. The timer, rather, the little egg timer. God, that's a bad analogy. Shut up, Aaron. Pretty hard.
You've had better ones.
I've had better
The
ones.
Chihuahua
I
one
like
was
the
nice.
Chihuahua one was good. It was good.
Yep.
I feel like I could have phrased it more eloquently, but that's all right. We're getting back into the swing of things. Still week 1 of D2L Season 5. By the end,
Look at
we'll
Ferrari. He's just getting closer and closer with these marches, and he keeps going.
inch by inch, step by step.
Oh my God! That's
Look at this. This is so trolly. He's zoning them off of their tier 2 with March.
It's because he has regen, so he doesn't actually have to go back to base to do this. He's gonna jump in and kill this Rubik as well.
I'm pretty sure Chizbug could kill him with just the hammer. They're gonna let him do it. Yep, there's the ensnare. Yeah, they just gave that to the Omni for trolliness. There's no doubt about it. And Chizbug happy to take that. His second kill of the game, actually. I'm pretty sure the purification that just melted the face of that Murano was kill number 1.
I don't know why they piped, but yeah, pipe is on cooldown now.
Because they can, man.
He actually has an Ags if he wants to buy it right now. He's got 3 components of it and 1,300 gold for the Viper.
Ferrari.
So.
Lel. Pew pew.
Oh, God.
Oh, poor Dos Equis. 2, 6, and 5 on that troll. Pick was questionable, at least in our minds. And the execution, not even a question, was lacking. And I think IG is close to closing this one out. Maybe one more brew ulti to see if they get something working. They're going to try. There's the ensnare. Ice Path a little bit late. Song has been used, though. They're going to isolate these pandas, try to bring them down. Chuan's actually quite low health, hasn't earned, so he can back off and heal himself. That's what he's going to try to do. What did he steal? Managed to get repelled. Not a bad spell to steal that time, but the panda ulti is about to wear off. So he'll be reassembling, and here comes Daddy. Ferrari ready to show him how it's done. As with that down, they're going to have no problem trying to crack this high ground. Rubik, again, stole repel. We'll see how useful that's going to be with the pipe. And with Ferrari doing things like this, just going in. Ice Path, a little bit short. Ensnare onto Pretty Haw. Repel wears off. Arrow actually does connect on the Chizbug. There's going to be the follow-up. Viper Strike, AA ulti will connect on to. And they kind of left Chizbug out there. He ends up dead. Got the GA off, but it only really caught the Viper. So once again, a bit of a whiff on that. And I'm a little shocked they've been able to hold this well. Ice Path's going to catch Zed SMJ, though. Here comes Ferrari right back in, chasing down Pretty Hot to the north while the rest of the team lock down the Murano on the south. And it's a slow grind, but I believe they are coming out ahead. Macro Pyre, totally gratuitous, but so is a godlike streak on Ferrari, as he took this game over basically on his own. Oh, that's not even really fair. I don't know why I said that. Chuan and the rotations from IG were just so good and made so much space for him. Now he's taking the game over.
Yeah, I agree. It was definitely the setup from Chuan that really jump-started his farm, and that 3-for-nothing exchange with the gank attempt onto Chuan and the Tinker just really was a disaster for HGT. And that's the GG, actually, 26 minutes in. So IG off the back of a really nice support play from Chuan specifically, and then just the closing out from Ferrari 430, one of the best mid players in the entire world. Just ran a clinic here with a fantastic Tinker play. So well played by IG.
Game 2 in the books. Invictus Gaming secures their second win of D2L Season 5 and move themselves solidly into first place. Still a lot of Dota to be played, though. 8-team round-robin action. This week, we've still got a few more matches. We're off tomorrow, but on through till Sunday, we'll have more on the way. A little bit of a downtime after that to make room for some of the other lands that are going on. Then we'll be bouncing back with what has to be one of the most packed casting and play schedules in all of Dota 2 history, if I'm not mistaken. Wait till you see it. I think you'll be impressed. At any rate, Ferrari 430, second game in a row. He takes it over, 15-1-5. But again, can't give him all the credit. Chuan, 1-1-14 does not sound glorious, but if you were eyeballing that game, you know how big an impact he had.
Yep, absolutely. And I expected, actually, to be honest, to see better things from the Omni Knight pick. I don't think his performance was too stellar, but he was there when he needed to be, like just throwing out some casual heals here and there. A couple missed opportunities with the ultimate, but nonetheless, as you mentioned, it really came down to, I would say, also just the lane setup. Like Viper, Omni, they gave up that one kill early on, but they quickly just made it very, very easy to lane the Viper and give him free farm. He was up to 34 CS at like 6 minutes, highest in the game at that point. So good lane setups, good movement from Chuan, and good execution from Ferrari 430.
That's going to put our first series in the books. Again, IG wins 2-0. Looking ahead to our second series, going to be another good one. We've got DK, who actually on less than 24 hours notice, replacing a team that dropped out of contention in New B, looking to make their D2L debut as well. And they'll be doing it against LV Gaming, who I really enjoyed watching the other day. And I'm really anxious to see how they perform throughout all of Eastern Division play. If you're enjoying the tunes, by the way, make sure you can find them. Let's say make sure you can. If you dig them, look up Monster Cat. Pretty good stuff. Almost all of them. The song that's on right now is actually not Monster Cat, but almost all of the other music that you hear here on our D2L broadcast, at least for the last few days, has been Monster Cat. So a special shout out and thanks to them for allowing us to use their tunes to titillate